let that happen. And a little fall. There we go. Face up. One more time, little one right here. Look at you. We're right at that C2. Beautiful. And then hey guys, Dr. Mike here, Oak Brook Medical Group in Oak Brook, Illinois, and I am here with Genesis. So as you see, she's in scrubs. She is one of our newest rehab technicians here in the office, helping out with a lot of the rehab and getting patients to places where they need to go so they can see all the providers. One thing about her though is she's never been adjusted. So you guys are about to see her first ever chiropractic adjustment. We're gonna walk her through it. And here's the deal, when I adjust people, first time I ever adjust people in the office, I always let them know, hey, we're gonna go really, really light today. Naturally, I go softer the first time because I want you to come back and say, hey, give me a little bit more pressure versus coming back and going, that was way too much, let's never do that again, right? We need to ease people into these things to make sure that they're comfortable with them. So, a couple things with Genesis. When we did her exam and x-rays, some of the things that we found out, right, is with her, if we were looking at her from the front here with her spine, her left hip is actually dropped pretty significantly compared to the right one. So she's actually walking around with a little bend in her hips like that. The other thing that kind of more so stood out to me when I asked you a question, right? So a lot of times we can look at x-rays after seeing them enough times and ask the patient, hey, do you experience this? And they're like, yeah, how did you know that? Right, so I took x-rays of Genesis, and the first thing I asked her was, do you get headaches or migraines at all? And she was like, yep, all the time. Right, so I mean, how frequently are you getting them right now?
Probably a couple times a month or so, and they linger for a few days.
Yeah, so a couple times a month, a few days each time. You're getting to 10 or so days a month, right? So the reason we knew that is when we look at somebody's neck from the side, ideally they should have a smooth 45-degree curve in there. Also, if this is the skull sitting up here, there should be a really good space. I'll show you guys there. It should be skull, C1, and then C2. There should be really big spaces in there because a lot of the nerves come out of those little holes and start to come up into the head, right? Well, when we looked at her x-rays, her neck was perfectly straight, no curve at all, and these three bones up here were jammed together to the point that there was no space between them at all. Well, if there's no space between there and those nerves are the ones that are coming up to the head, usually it's a good sign that I can look at that and go, you're probably experiencing headaches, sinus issues, things like that. And sure enough,
I do have sinus issues.
Sinus issues too. See, there you go. So that's why we look at those things. That's why all of our patients that come in, we always want to do an exam and take x-rays on so we can see things like that, because just like Genesis did there's some times that we forget that we're experiencing things. And as providers, we can find those things on film or through an exam and go, hey, are you experiencing this? And it triggers that patient's memory, which is good. It just helps us as providers make sure that you guys get the best care possible. So, first ever chiropractic adjustment. Are you nervous?
Yeah.
You are? Okay, that's fair. That's fair. So, like I said, we're gonna go nice and easy. We're gonna end up going face down with you first. We'll start on that mid-back thoracics, and then we'll work in the low back, and we're gonna finish with the neck. So, nice and easy. Like I said, on the x-rays we saw her left hip was dropped, so her hips are sitting this way. We did have some slight bends going throughout the thoracic, nothing like a scoliosis, nothing like that. But we're gonna start right through here. So give me a big breath in and all the way out. Let that fall nice and easy. One more time, little one right here. Look at you. All right, lay on your side, face me this way. How'd we do with that?
That was good.
We'll still be friends when we're done with this. I got you. All right, so you're gonna slide the hips closer to me. We're gonna stack up. Let me see this right arm. And you're gonna rest and rest. Okay. So now, like I said, that left hip had dropped there. So we're gonna roll you on the side. This is called side posture. It's gonna be more for that pelvis SI joint. Not too bad. Other side. One more time here. We're gonna slide you toward the edge a little bit. I promise, if I drop you, I'm going down with you, so we won't let that happen. And a little fall. There we go. Face up. 2 for 2. All right, the moment of the truth. The next one that people are always most, worried about. We've seen all the crazy things in movies and this and that, and I promise we're not gonna do that. So we're gonna start nice and light, right here in that lower cervical spine. Right here, we can already feel how tight those muscles are on you. So all you do is you let that fall. We're gonna get to this point and you'll feel a little impulse right in there. Look at that, that little one moved already. How about that? All right, nice and easy. Little one, let that muscle fall. Excellent.
Well, that wasn't bad.
Now see, look at that. And we'll come right here at the top. So now we're right at that C2. Beautiful. And then, so remember you guys said, I told you guys that she's all jammed up at the top here, and that's where she's getting a lot of her headaches. So we're just gonna do a little bit of light traction just to try to open up that space. Eventually, as she gets comfortable, we're gonna add in some of that what's called a Y strap. You've seen some of the videos, we've used that before, where we really get a big traction and open things up for patients. Alrighty, sit on up. First ever chiropractic adjustment. How you doing? Come on up here.
That feels great.
So no issues, no soreness, no tightness, no pins and needles when we adjusted you. All good?
No, yeah.
Perfect. See, so go nice and easy. So odds are she's gonna come back next time and say, hey, that was really simple. Can we add a little bit more? And we just keep building things up till we get to the point where we're making changes, getting that spine moving, and most importantly, getting rid of those migraines and those headaches. Okay, so now that she got adjusted, one of the things that she'll end up doing that eventually you guys will see on some of the videos is we're gonna do some traction on that neck to really help restore that curve like we were talking about. So if you guys have any questions about chiropractic, getting your first adjustment, questions about the rehab we do in the office, give us a call at that number below. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that notification bell, like, follow the page, Facebook, Instagram, like and follow, and we'll catch you guys on the next video.